Now, the next section, Peter Taynton, and he's on a strict time limit here. He's just going to mention some things on timelines. It's a bit of advertising here. There's a talk in the Birds of a Feather tomorrow being done on Tuesday, actually setting up timelines and how you can use them and things, which Matt's doing that talk. So Pete's just going to show a few things, just get you know, so if you're interested in that, to go along to the talk in the Tuesday session.
But generally the idea is to you can see by the videos now, and again in the last day we're having a bit more idea on how timelines are used and created. But you can see what you can create. They're all timeline meshes and things like that. Again, you've got things like reasonable looking trees rather than the billboards that you've got now. So obviously the vehicles and that sort of thing are the main part, but you can bring in buildings and all sorts of things. So here at the moment we're just recording it straight off the PC, but there also is a new recording option to do movies. But as I said, like those cars there are that was pretty quick, right? I'm pretty sure one of them was a Kiwi driver. But when you sort of set those up, you can see how at least you're able to get something like those cars can stop and start. You can set them up with lines that depict changes versus time, and you get the car to stop for a certain time, then start again. So you can put up things like that on there. So you see the 2010 conference. So this one here, just simple little things like that. And the reason why we can do this is driving on there is because with the new timelines you have cameras, and those cameras can then, besides the old driving, just looking at one thing and orbiting around or spinning around, that sort of stuff with the old joy panel, you can now pick other strings, so you can drive down one string and look at something. As you drive past, you can have two strings and look at another string and all those sorts of things. So you've got a lot more flexibility on how you can view your object. So here I'm just driving down the string and focused on that blue bus. So the timeline allows me to do that. So again, this one here is just a high-end thing, and we're just focusing on the one vehicle. And again, the same process here. We just picked on that truck. So anytime you can pick, not only drive down a string and focus on the vehicle, you can also stay still and then look at something else. So you can look at, position yourself on top of an overpass and watch a car come by and follow that vehicle. And so all those vehicles are available there. You can also import your own meshes, and Matt will go through the process on how to do that. This one here is the same sort of thing. It's looking at a string going the other way, but you're driving along the string itself. So a lot of these things here I did with the houses and those sorts of things. They're the standard houses that are available in 12D now, these ones. But the one at the back, that colonial type one, that's a mesh that came in. So I pinched it off the website somewhere and threw that in there. But you can see, like, it's a matter of just having the vehicles, and we'll be able to show you later on the timelines, how you throw some cars down, and you can get a very good feel for what's going on without too much effort. So as the things play through here, again, this one here, you'll notice in this one here there'll be you're looking at the vehicles, but you're standing still. So obviously the cars are driving past, and you're getting a bit of an idea of how you can view something differently, rather than the old orbit and joy panel and the drive where you just drive down one string only. Here we're driving up the road, and our focus is the driveway that we're just passing. So obviously we look at that driveway vehicle, and as we keep on driving, we're still looking at that driveway vehicle. So it's just simply just two different types of cameras that allow you a bit more flexibility on your job. The next one's a Freeway one. It's not a real flash. I've got nothing much on, just the vehicles, but just showing that you can turn around and stay still there and look at the particular vehicle itself. So that one there again is just following the driving down the string, the camera, and focusing on a particular vehicle. So as we look at those timelines, and I said, we're only here just to show you a bit of a feel for what it looks like, is you can also run lots of things inside the timeline, not only viewing things, but you can also run chains. You can run macros and all those sorts of things. So as the chain goes, as the timeline runs through, it then displays that. This is my plane, and 12D's own plane, this one. Yeah, so a bit of fun like that. So you can turn around, and we showed these last time, but they're still pertinent. There's a few people that weren't at that release. This one here is a stage construction, a bit more serious. So it's actually running simple chains. And basically what it's doing is just adding the model to the view. It's as easy as that. So inside the timeline, I've got all these chains, just keep on adding to one model so that all those columns are all on different model, and they just keep on getting added. So it's like a stage construction. So you could have like another tin surface added in there. It's all limited by your own imagination, what you want to do. But that's all this is doing, just adding models with all those different things on, and then finally the cars drive over. So it does give you a bit of an idea of what you can do. So inside the 12D, I'm only going to show this quickly because I'd say that Matt has got a little bit of a session on it for you. But you can also then obviously go into the mesh library, like a little showroom. And you can see the vehicles and things like that. These little coloured squares are anchor points. And so when you drive your car and specify the tin surface, then it will tilt the car back and forwards in relation to the tin surface. So it uses those things as anchor points. So there's quite a few of those, different sorts of trucks and things like that. So the idea is when you run those timelines, again we've got one here for you. So if we turn around and go the Freeway one, if I zoom in here, we've got a little bit of a recollection for our New South Wales people. Now that's the best game of football I've seen for a long time. So next year probably 8, I gather. Just to get the double trucks and just keep on adding to the ends on my thing. Yes, that sort of idea. But the thing about that is when you run these and you sort of just go that, you can turn around and as you go through the normal zooming commands, you can do this. You can zoom around while it's driving. And if you really don't want to, if you're a New South Wales person, and so if we go and play the normal play, there is a play which is just drive only. And what the drive only allows you to do is to turn around and then just, this one's not working on me. Maybe something happened. There was a drive only which just drove down the string and no car. But it was basically, I must have a timeline missing. Unable to start design. Okay, I must have picked something wrong there. But generally what happens is, I don't want to steal Matt's thunder, but basically what it allows you to do under the timelines there is to do a quick timeline. And here you can say, I only want a camera. I do not want cars. Yeah, so tomorrow he'll show you how to do that, how to even bring in some meshes and create your own meshes. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, it's a breeze, but it is doable. And you can surf the web and find some meshes, and there's a few scale problems you've got to get over. But generally, you should be able to get something that's, if you want to. But if you're happy with the cars and stuff that 12D's got there, then it's quite easy to throw a vehicle up there and put across a point like we did with the State of Origin vehicle. But that's about it on the timelines. And I said there's lots of things available for there. And so even if you just sometimes use it just to drive down a road a bit differently, and be able to look at one position and maybe look at 2 strings, and it's just a different way of viewing your job. If you want to throw a car in, then that's good.
So these are some of the things we showed in the futures at the 2010 conference, which are all now in version 10 and working.